I have more videos in my head than I can possibly get done in real time. There's just no way to edit them all and get them all loaded. Because some of them need editing, and then some of them go straight onto the wherever platform they're going. So I had a question today about whether I'm religious or spiritual. And that's a great question. I love it. I grew up in a religious household, and I'm not against religion. People want to choose which religion they do or whatever. If they're born into something, that's just what they know. Some people don't really have a choice of anything else because their parents raised them a certain way. By the time your awareness comes about that you may or may not like what you're doing, that's around the time when you start acting up in your life as a teenager and finding your own way. And so, was that my experience? Yeah, kinda. Acting up as a teenager, trying religion. I tried it again as an adult a couple different times. I consider myself Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. But also the fact that Jesus died for us and came to literally break religion. That's what doesn't make any sense of why people are so religious. Because when Jesus was here, he told the Jewish religious leaders, stop being so religious. There's certain things that are written down, and then all this other stuff you guys are making up. Stop doing that. And so Jesus walked the earth. They found no wrong with him, and the Romans executed him. And then the Romans became the biggest power in the world. When they had power, they spread Christianity through the Roman Catholic Church, through the Vatican. Now, do I believe that those people that spread Christianity are the same people that follow Christ? Absolutely not. Because how can you kill them, deny them, and then say that you're going to spread that word? So whatever they're spreading is something else. So when I was religious as a teenager, they would always try to talk to me about, it's like religion's like coloring in the lines. And as a spiritual person, I make coloring books that other people can color in, because I'm going to ask you questions and show you things that you've never seen before. And that's what happened. The religion was just so strict that I had questions and would look at things. And some things about nature and the way like math and science was, I just knew. Like, there's some things innately in all of us. I'm a mechanical, creative person, so you don't have to tell me many times how something works, and I can figure the rest out. That's just how my brain works. And so there's too many holes in religion. It doesn't answer all the questions. So Jesus answers all the questions for all of the other religions. That's the one cool thing, is you can't answer. Muslims with the Quran can answer for themselves, but they can't answer for Jesus. But Jesus can answer for them. Jesus can make up the rest of the lack in their story, because their story is new. Buddha's story is new. Buddha was a man. So then, what do? They've got all these religions that are based off men. So then, as a spiritual person, you understand that there's something greater than that. Like the Jesus consciousness that people seek to find is greater than going to a building on a Sunday and listening to someone speak about Jesus. But Jesus said, if you ask, I can come into you, and you can do more powerful things than anything that I ever did while I was walking on earth. So if Jesus told us that we could have more power than him, and then he said also, he said, I'm going to give you a helper called the Holy Spirit that'll make you even more powerful. Ask for that, and then see what happens. That was the ask that Jesus did. And he told his apostles that they would cure and heal and resurrect and fix broken people. And so I found out about that Holy Spirit power, I was like, this is sick. I could do all kinds of stuff with this. Then the challenge becomes knowing that you're not doing it, you're just using the power that God gifted inside of you. And then you find out, and this is my experience, your experience may be different, but you find out that that same Holy Spirit power that the Christians tell you that they're the only ones that have, you find out that other people have it, and it's the same exact thing you have. But they don't call it the same thing, and they don't refer to it the same thing. They don't read the Bible. They don't go to church. They don't celebrate Christmas. They're not even Christians. But they got that same power. That's what I figured out. I figured out the power was the same. Everywhere I went, I would ask people questions. How's this work? Blah, blah, blah. How's this work? I'd read books. And then you find out the power is way above what people realize. So they're setting their sights for here. Like, they're like, God will answer my problems if I have pray here. But then God said that you have the Holy Spirit to pray for whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. You could do miracles in his name, he said. So like, why are you putting a cap on it? No cap. Raise the roof off. Like, anything's possible now. And then you look around and you realize it was all a lie to be told religion should separate people and keep people all separated because they don't believe the same way you do. Because when you really break it down, the people that really believe and really know about this power that was gifted to humans, when you really understand the power and how to use the power for good, you don't have to go to a church for that, because there's a whole bunch of people that go to different churches and have different belief systems, but they're still using that same goodness. So to say that you don't go to a certain building and you're wrong and you're going to die for that, I can't get down with that. I can't be the judge of that. Let your whatever, I don't know how that works. You figure that out. I'm not here to judge anybody. But I can just tell you through my experience that the deeper and deeper I go in knowledge of what mankind has written down over their whole life, there's more people in agreement about the same things that are on different parts of the world that have never spoke than there are on your street. Because people are going to argue all day long on your street about which church to go to, or which building not to go to, or which policy to believe in. But when you really start understanding the world, and people all around the world are connected through this greater consciousness of humanity, and that love is the thing that ties us all together, then you can see that the religion may not be the way. I don't know. I can't say. I know Jesus said, I'm the way, but Jesus didn't say religion is the way. So if Jesus told me I can use spirit, and I can become one with that spirit, and that's the same spirit I know that my Native American friends have, and that's the same spirit that my Hawaiian friends have, and it's the same spirit my Chinese friends have, and none of these people were raised the same way I was. I know that spirit that's connecting us must be real, because I feel it in me, and I know what it does, and I can feel other people that have it. So yeah, I'm a spiritual person. I'm actually on like the deep end of the spiritual pool. Good topic. I don't attend any churches outside of Christian churches. I've been into temples. I don't know if I've ever been in a mosque. I've sat with Muslims many times and talked and ate, broke bread. They have the same stories they do. They were like, wait a minute, you guys know these stories? I'm like, yeah, that's in the Bible. They're like, they told us that was in the Quran. I was like, no, this is the way it, like, a lot of the Bible's historic. People that don't believe in the Bible, there's many historians that aren't Christians that study the Bible, and they're like, oh, this is a real book, because these things really happened. Facts. There's some things in an old book that really happened that people can't dispute. One of them is that Christ was raised out of the tomb, because it's in the history books. And then they made a holiday about it called Easter, which is like not Christian, which is more pagan, dealing with the stars and astrology, because when they made the Christian church, they had to allow people that weren't Christian in. So the pagan stuff came into the Christian church. So now it's all muddled up together. Some people that are Christians today don't even know anything about pagan religion because they don't teach that part in the church. You can't teach people about paganism in the church because then they would be looking at paganism and they'd be like, oh, some of that makes sense. Some of it doesn't make sense. But I hope that you find your way. That's what I hope. I hope that something makes sense to you enough to hold on to it for your life and you can make a good life out of it. And if you find something that's comfortable for you and you can meet enough other people that do it comfortably, like the guy I met when I was hiking Mount Baldy, he was from Iran and we talked for 2 hours. So he grew up in a non-Christian country at all. He was about 55 years old. I'm 44. We spoke for 2 hours and we agreed on the whole 2 hours. There wasn't one topic that came up that was like, no, it's different over here. Like, his upbringing in that country was so dramatically different, but our belief system wasn't right in alignment as we went up that mountain. And we all go to the mountains for the same thing, to see what this earth is about. Like, you can feel the power of creation when you go to the top of a mountain. These mountains here in California are still growing. That's why they're so tall. That's why there's earthquakes. The earth is pushing itself forward. So the earth comes, there's more of the earth to be made. Creation has no lack. God doesn't say, I'm going to stop making. There's no like off switch for God. So as the earth makes more of itself from itself, that's the way you are. You can keep creating. You can keep making your life new. You can keep having new experiences. You can keep learning. Just like that mountain over there is going to keep coming forth. I was swimming in the river yesterday on the mountain. The water keeps coming out of the mountain. For anyone that thinks there's going to be a drought in California, there's not going to be a time when water just stops. Because these mountains are so heavy, they press down on the ground. The water comes out of the earth. I don't want to give a science lesson right now. Most people that watch television and listen to this stuff, they don't understand the geographics and the pressures of the earth, like how things work scientifically. But there's a lot of water in California. We're always in water. It's not like a desert like Arizona or Nevada is. There's a lot of water here. So I hope that makes sense to somebody. Stay spiritual. Stay on your quest. Stay true to yourself. Your inner guidance system knows your true parts, your alignment that comes from your head to your heart. And when you can work from your heart, you'll have more power than you could ever imagine. Way more power than you could ever imagine. It's all from the heart muscle. But I've only been studying it for like 25 years to find that out. So don't take anything I say for granted. Go read a book on the heart muscle and the vibration. 432, 528. Find out about some different things that you can actually heal yourself with for free. Hope this helps somebody today. Love y'all. Bless up to the Most High.